Alright folks, in this video I'm going to show you some of the config.pro settings that I use in order to make Creo more bearable. Now you're probably asking yourself, well, who the hell are you? What qualifications do you have in order to tell me how to use Creo Parametric? I've been using Creo for a very long time, and I have found over the years that there are several settings that I like and that a lot of my students like when I train them in Creo that I think will help a lot of people out there who haven't taken any training. So if you don't know, Creo out of the box is kind of trash. And I think that's probably why a lot of people have this negative taste of Creo. If you talk to anyone who's used Creo, it gets a lot of hate. I'm not really sure why. It's a very powerful package. But hopefully, if you are on Creo, I'm going to make your life a little bit easier. Everything that you see in Creo Parametric is controlled by what's called a config.pro. And the config.pro is essentially a file that gets loaded every time you launch Creo. And based on what you have in that file, Creo will execute certain settings. So let's take a look at what some of these settings do, why I would recommend them, and ultimately how they assist you. Now, in order to show you all of this, I'm just going to create a dummy part file here just so you can see that this is a bone stock vanilla version of Creo. I just installed this a couple of hours ago, and it's normal Creo self, okay? So first, in order to change anything that has to do with the config.pro, you have to go over into File, and then you have to go over into Options. And here it is. Here's everything that you can change about Creo Parametric. Now, first things first. A lot of people seem to be very happy with the dark mode. So the first thing I'm going to show you how to change is the theme. Now, in order to change the theme, all you have to do is go over to System Appearance, and all you have to do is just change the theme to whatever you are feeling like. For example, I am a big fan of the midnight theme. So if I pick the midnight theme, you can see that everything changes color. Now, if you don't like certain aspects of the midnight theme, you can expand each individual subsection. For example, there's graphics. And if you want to change the background to fully black, maybe you're using an OLED monitor, then this would be where you change it. You would go ahead and set it to black like so, and you can see my entire background is black. Now, once you have all of this loaded, you're going to go ahead and export these colors. And I'm going to go ahead and do that for you very quickly. So as you can see, it's simply going into My Documents. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep the name as is. Syscall looks like. And there we go. Now it is exported as a color. Now remember, you would do this once you are satisfied with all of the colorings. Now, how do you actually tell the config.pro to load it though? Well, in order to load it, you have to go to the configuration editor, which is located all the way on the bottom over here. Now, looking for all of this can be a little bit daunting, so I suggest you use this Find button here. And I think there's one called System Colors, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see if we have anything here. And again, it has been a little bit of a while since I used Creo Parametric, at least the newer versions. Here it is, System Colors file. So you would obviously select that. You would go ahead and hit Browse, and you would select the Syscall file that you just put out. So that is tip number one. That is changing the theme. Now, tip number two actually has to do with the model display. So if you go over to the model display section, which is right below the system appearance, you're going to see that there are quite a few things here that are pretty interesting. First of all, I like to show the datums when I'm reorienting the model, so I'm going to turn that on. Now, what exactly does that mean? It means that when I rotate the model, the datums still show up, okay? I don't know how many of you have used Creo in the past, but in the past, when you rotate it, the datums disappear. That is infuriating to me. So I would suggest you turn this on if you want to see the datums when you rotate. Now, another thing that I like to disable is show animation, because, for very light graphics card, this probably isn't ideal. I happen to have a very powerful graphics card, so I'm going to leave that on. But I would suggest you turn that off if you have a very light graphics card. The shade quality, again, I have a very high-end graphics card, so I'm actually going to bump that up to 50. That's actually the maximum that you can go to. Shade quality needs no explanation. It improves the shade quality dramatically if you bump this up to 50. Everything will look much nicer and cleaner and smoother. And so that would be tip number two. That, of course, is the model display. Now, tip number 3 mainly has to deal with the entity display. So if you go over to the entity display, you can see that we have a couple of more graphical settings. For example, the edge display quality right now is set to medium. I like to set this to very high. Now, why do I like to do that? Well, number 1, I have a good graphics card. But number 2, when you're working with surfaces, making sure that you pick the right edge and having that nice edge, it's just super helpful for surfacing. Now, if you don't do a lot of surfacing, then you can probably live with this being a little bit on the lower end. But again, for surfacing folks, you definitely have to set this to very high. Shading with edges, I feel, is the best way to work because, again, with surfacing, you need to be able to pick edges. Anti-aliasing, I usually don't really mess with this. I like to leave this off, and same thing with all these other ones here. But again, if you have a very good graphics card, I don't see why your graphics card would kind of fail on these, all right? I haven't had a reason to turn them on, so if you know a better reason, or if you want to put your input down below in the comments, then hey, be my guest. Let's keep going here. So I personally like to show the datum plane tags. Now, what exactly does that mean? Well, as you're going to see in a second, when I hit OK, it's going to show me the names of the datums here. I also like to do the datum axes tags and the datum point tags. So let me show you what that does. I'm just going to hit OK temporarily. Don't worry about this warning yet. I'll just go ahead and say no to that right now. You can see that after turning those on, it gives everything a name. So there's the top plane, there's the front plane, there's the right plane. Before it wasn't there, but after turning on those options, it does show you the name. Same thing with the coordinate system right there. So again, I would suggest that you turn those on because when you are working with someone to say, okay, cut it with the top plane or the front plane, looking at the tree is not always the best way when you can just see it from here. All right, going back to the entity display over here. I also like to come down here. Let's see, is this where it is? Yep, here it is. So the constraint display, all right? We are living in an era where we have a lot of high-end resolution monitors, and quite frankly, I don't like it. I'm not even going to get into that, but if you have a 4K monitor on a laptop, it's going to be very hard to deal with this. So I like to make these constraints very large. So I'm just going to go ahead and move that little slider all the way to the right. And this is how big they're going to be right there. You can see it. It gives you a nice little preview. The background color, I like to just keep it on the default. It looks to be white, so that's good. And that takes care of the entity display. Now, the other tip that I have for you has to deal with the sketcher. So if you go over to the sketcher here, located right there, the sketcher is where a lot of people have a problem with Creo Parametric. So here are a couple things that I recommend to do with the sketcher. Number 1, I suggest you turn off equal length and equal radii. I find that those particular constraints present a lot of problems. I'm almost tempted to also do the same thing with perpendicular, but that's very rare. Okay, so if you want, you can disable perpendicular, but equal length and equal radii right off the bat, I would disable. The number of decimal places, of course, is totally dependent on your company. So I work with inches, so I like to have 3 decimal places. But again, it's totally dependent on the company that you're working for. Another thing that I like to do is I like to turn on lock modified dimensions and lock user defined dimensions. If you don't turn those on, I will show you what happens. When you make a sketch and you define something, let's say you make a rectangle, right? And when you define it, right, let's say this is 100 by 100, right? What you don't realize is that these are strong dimensions, but they're not locked down. So I can actually hold down the left mouse button and, kind of translate that as is. See that? And no one in the world is stopping me, even though I input a 100 millimeter dimension there. So in order to stop that from happening, you would turn on this guy, lock modified dimensions, and I would also turn on lock user defined dimensions. That way, that no longer happens. And as a matter of fact, they will change color, and I'll show you that very quickly. If you input a number now, let's say 125, you will see that now it is this kind of purplish color. So I'll let you know this is a locked dimension. You see, I cannot move it up and down anymore. It does not move. All right. So some other things in the sketcher here. I would also like you to turn on make the sketching plane parallel to the screen. This one is huge. For some reason, and I don't know why this is the case, Creo, ever since I have used it, does not automatically orient you to the sketching plane. That drives me nuts. But if you turn this on, from now on, every time you click a plane and you hit sketch, it will automatically orient you parallel to the screen. And what I mean by that is, if you notice when I made this sketch, it didn't automatically, do this, right? It didn't make it parallel to my screen. But now with that setting on, I can click a plane and sketch and see that it automatically does that for me. Oh man, that one is absolutely huge. Please turn that on because, let me tell you, it gets me every time. Let's see, what else is in here in the sketcher? So we already turned on the make the sketching plane parallel to the screen. Highlight overlapping geometry and highlight intersecting geometry I like to do primarily because as new users, sometimes it's very easy to miss that two curves are on top of each other. And if you're doing embedded sketches, then Creo will definitely throw a fit. But that is really the last one that I have for you. Now, obviously, I would encourage you to go in here and look at what other things you can change. But really, now that you're done, the ultimate question is, well, how do I actually save all of this, right? In order to save all of this, you actually have to go to this guy here that says Export Configurations. So go ahead and select Export Configurations. And I would just throw it wherever it tells you to throw it. As you can see here, this seems to be my default directory. This is exactly where I'm going to throw it. Now, I can't save it here. So what I think I'll do is I'll just copy this directory here. And then I'll put it, for now, in my desktop, my config.pro. And I'll go ahead and hit OK. Now I should be able to go to that directory and paste it in there. You usually need admin access for that, but simply open up your File Explorer and place it in there, and it should work just fine. Anyway, those are just some of the config.pro settings that I would suggest you change. So now if I show you all of those in full effect, you can see that these constraints are very big. I can see them with my own eyes. Perhaps the dimensions could use some work, so maybe I'll show you how to do that very quickly. If I go over into File, Options, I think there is one in here for the text. I'll have to look it up. I'll put it down in the description below, so my apologies. I can't remember what the setting is called. But nonetheless, this would ultimately be how I set up my Creo Parametric. I don't really do map keys. I don't really do any of that because when you go to the next version, it usually breaks. But hopefully these couple of tips here help you out. If you have any questions using Creo, if you're just new to it, please let me know, and I'll give you some tips as I go along. All right? Take it easy. Bye-bye.